Jared Goff will be making his return to LA this Sunday when he plays the Los Angeles Rams in Los Angeles in SoFi Stadium. The former number 1 overall pick said, and I quote, "I'm going to play the game just how I would any other game, and to be honest, I'm not worried about feeling some type of way once the game starts. I really don't." So he said that, but he also said that, if he's being honest, he does have a little bit of a chip on his shoulder about this game, and that's truthfulness. That's good to see that. Goff was obviously traded back in March for with multiple draft picks in exchange for Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford is in LA now. Stafford has the Rams off to a 5-1 start, while the Lions with Goff are currently winless and the only winless team in the league. John McVay actually weighed in on this as well. So McVay said he, quote, wishes there was a better and more clear communication with Goff at the time he was traded. And Goff kind of acknowledged that too. Goff felt kind of blindsided by the move after having no contact with McVay or the Rams for the time in the season after the season ended. And he kind of just received a call about the trade when it happened. So a little bit of weird communication when that all went down. Goff still ranks second in Rams history in completion percentage with 63% and second in franchise history in passer rating. He was voted a team captain 3 times after, of course, being the number 1 overall pick. And he also took them to a Super Bowl, which, again, he played very well leading up to that Super Bowl. He played exceptionally well that season. I believe 31 touchdowns to 13 interceptions, something in that mold. He played exceptionally well in that season, that 2018 season. So, all that being said, what do we think of Jared Goff's return to LA? I think Jared Goff is someone who has gotten a lot of flack, and I don't think it's necessarily his fault. I think this is a guy who people, deride a lot, and it's easy to do so because he's a number 1 overall pick, and he has such a great offensive coach when he was in LA, and they were doing so well when Todd Gurley was there. They were doing so well under Sean McVay that it's easy to overlook, the guy who was going out and executing his offense. And granted, Matthew Stafford's going out there and executing his offense better, but Matthew Stafford's also a better quarterback than Jared Goff. No one said that he wasn't. But to say that Jared Goff is a bust, Jared Goff is a bad quarterback, Jared Goff is is a backup at best, that's just asinine. The dude was able to run this offense and run it very well and led them to a Super Bowl. All right? He's playing in Detroit right now with a team that's not very good, all right? Let's be clear. They've been in a lot of games, but the Detroit Lions are not a good team. They have the second most players and 14 players on IR in the entire league. They are 0-6. They got beat by my boy Justin Tucker on a kick 66 to end the game, an NFL record, all right? So this team has actually been overperforming, honestly, in a lot of ways than it should be. That being said, has Jared Goff played particularly well? No, not this season. But you go back and you'll look at what he was doing with the Rams, especially when Sean McVay got in there and after he had, his rookie season where, he didn't do well. Oh, my God, rookie quarterback not doing so well. What? A rookie quarterback who doesn't play well in his first year in the league under Jeff Fisher as his head coach? Oh, no, you bury him. He's the worst quarterback ever. Blah, blah, all this jab. I'm sick of it. Jared Goff is a more than competent quarterback. He is a good quarterback. Top 15, I think. I think under the right circumstances, he can be a very good quarterback. So, first of all, I want all that gone. And I think this Sunday, he's going to have a chip on his shoulder. Is there any chance for them to beat Los Angeles? Every instinct in my brain, every instinct in my body tells me no, because the talent is just incomparable. Aaron Donald is probably going to get Jared Goff on the floor. Jared Goff is probably going to throw a pick or two. Matthew Stafford probably going to tear that secondary to shreds because it's god-awful. But, and this is a big but a but nonetheless, every so often, there's a game that people write off as, oh, we know who's going to win that. Every so often there's a game that, one team is just so much better than the other team. It's almost an afterthought. The game shouldn't even be played, right? And it ends up being a trap game. And I think this game, to me, has trap game written all over it, and it has very little to do with the talent. The talent, obviously, is not there. The talent, if you factor in talent, then there's never going to be a trap game in NFL history, yet we have multiple trap games every year. I think the circumstances for a trap game are right here. You have a quarterback, big chip on his shoulder. He wants to get a win. You got a team that is winless, that wants to get a win and probably wants to get a win for their guy, knowing the circumstances they're playing in, knowing they're playing at SoFi Stadium, knowing that Jared Goff, knowing that he's playing in a stadium that he believes he should have opened up, that he believes he should be playing in right now. Knowing that you have a head coach in Dan Campbell who was in tears last week after that loss, after that heartbreaking loss. And this team has been so close so many times. This has all the makings of a trap game. And let me tell you something. The Rams, they had some hope. When they were playing the Seahawks on Thursday Night Football last week, they didn't look too great, all right? They ended up winning. They ended up winning, but they didn't look, like the Rams we thought they were going to be, or they have been over the past number of weeks. They looked like there were some faults in there. You had some receivers dropping passes. You had the running game just wasn't there. And I don't know, something looks off. That defense was allowing Geno Smith to get down the field. So, call me crazy, call me whatever you want. To me, I have this circled trap game. And I think the Lions are going to be motivated to get a win. I think Jared Goff is going to be motivated to get a win. And I think this is the perfect circumstance. How poetic would it be? You also got to put some of that into just plain dumb old luck. How poetic would it be if Jared Goff, after getting traded to the Detroit Lions, going winless up until this point, gets his first and maybe the only win for the Lions in LA against the team that traded him, against the quarterback that got traded for him, and Matt Stafford loses his first game against Detroit. Call me crazy, but that's a story I'd want to write. That's a story I'd want to talk about, and it could be the story come Monday night, because we know that these trap games happen. We know how they work. Jared Goff, I think, is going to have a game. Regardless of the circumstances, even regardless if they win or lose, I think Jared Goff is going to have a very good game this Sunday because of how motivated he is to play well. You can take that to the bank. Thanks for watching this video from Real Take Sports Talk. Remember to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Also, remember to check out our live show every single Thursday at 8 p.m. right here on the YouTube channel. And remember, keep it real.